I've been asked just to restrict my remarks to a few minutes and to leave time for questions and comments, and I think that's important because probably people have different expectations of how we're going to use these precious moments, and it's foolish for me to try to anticipate what's on your minds. So very, very briefly, I'm a psychologist, as is my wife. I didn't have a particular interest in intelligence. In fact, my interest was in child learning, child development, work of a great scientist named Piaget. Some of you may know about his work. And it was only because of my work with children on the one hand and with brain-damaged adults on the other that I became suspicious of the notion that there's only a single intelligence. Because if there's only a single intelligence, either you're smart at everything, you're average at everything, or you are stupid at everything. And while life is unfair, and there are some people who are very good at lots of things, one name is Leonardo da Vinci, and there's some people who are not good at anything, most people have quite varied abilities. Of course, every teacher and any parent with a few children knows that, but I was the person who 30 years ago put it together in a big book, and probably, while nobody has to read the big book, it's nice to say that there's one or more books which provide scientific evidence, and I used to think there's 7 separate intelligences. Now I think there are at least 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, and we could talk about what they are. But the important idea is we don't just have one computer inside our skull. We've got a number of different ones. And walking around the school, even if MI had never been heard of, you can see children doing art and music and group work and sitting alone in the library and reading, or planning for nuclear attacks. That was one exercise. Dealing with catastrophe, that was another. But there were also more uplifting signs, like creating new works of music and paintings after famous artists and so on. So you see the plurality of intelligences right in front of you, more so than you would see in many other schools. I think I was supposed to say something about MI in the future, so let me simply say that it used to be that only very privileged individuals would be able to go to a school like this. But one of the great things about the digital era, and of course Bangalore symbolizes the digital era all over the world, is that anybody who has access to a computer or a smartphone or any digital device has the opportunity to learn in a number of different ways, to show what's been learned in many different ways. And as the technology gets more sophisticated, as we deal with so-called virtual realities, people will be able to exercise the whole range of intelligences, even if they don't have the opportunity to go to a well-endowed institution like this. It doesn't really matter whether people know about MI by name, or whether they know about Howard Gardner by name, but human beings have wonderful potentials, and we need to do everything we can to help each individual develop whatever his or her potentials are. That doesn't mean everybody should be able to go in whatever direction they want. So when I was talking to the 2 young people about what's special about this school and how it's different from the schools that their friends go to, they said, well, here we have a lot more choice about what we do. And that's to me what a democracy is having choices about what you do. But the other side of the coin, it shouldn't just be for yourself. It should be giving back to the world, especially if you have privilege. And so I'm especially touched by the number of projects that are being done here for places outside the walls of the Invention School, Inventure School, where you help people who don't have the same resources that you do.